The Star Citizen 321 PTU is currently up and running, and as we set out to begin exploring this new patch, one of the most intriguing additions we learned of is the jump point to the PYRO system. There has been a lot of buzz around players visiting the jump point. It doesn't function yet and is an unmarked location not intended for gameplay, but industrious players were quick to figure out how to get there, and thanks to the community teamwork in play, many other players can visit these locations as well. The jump point will be the gateway to Star Citizen's second star system, PYRO, so the addition to the game at last is an exciting development. The promise of PYRO has been just around the corner for many years now. As I departed Area 18 in my Terrapin, I saw that another player, Hansablast, had left up a beacon to allow everybody to quickly jump to the location. Okay, I see what the quantum beacon is. It's between ArcCorp and ArcCorp 5. This was a huge help and probably let us skip a lot of painstaking navigation. I was to be joined by Artax, who'd be making the same journey but starting out from Crusader, and I must admit I was excited to see this new, albeit unfinished location in the flesh. I'd keep an eye on my jump progress, but it wasn't long before the giant nebula of Jump Point came into view. Oh, I see it coming into view now. When jumping to a Lagrange cloud, you initially drop out some distance away. Maybe it was because this was a player beacon we were jumping to, but I was not quite prepared for the fact that we'd be going all the way with a single jump. It's very big. Ooh, you jump right into the place, goddamn. The immediate elephant in the room is that there are some very unfinished elements to the nebula cloud, with strange visual artifacts. But this isn't a place intended to be visited just yet, so we just have to explore around it. Well, okay, like the graphical elements are very unfinished. Ooh, yeah, the station is here. And then I can see the actual jump point infrastructure, like this whole corridor of signs. One assumes this is the passage ships will travel through on their way to making a jump, and of course I was going to fly it. Heading the opposite way would reveal the Stanton arrival signs. This is a really cool place to see up close, and the upcoming mechanics when this is all working are going to expand the scope of the game enormously, but right now it is very difficult to get a complete sense of the geography here due to the graphical barriers. So it's hard to see the full extent of everything because of all of the graphical issues at the moment. Kind of make it kind of unclear. Bit odd station. There really are a lot of these mini station structures out here at the jump point, and I'd follow along the trail of some of the structures. They seem to stretch out like a guiding path, and each time I hit one of the graphical artifacts to reveal the opposite side, the trail did continue on. Until eventually coming to an opening where I'd spot the familiar sight of a regular station in the background. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. There is actually so the jump point isn't the station. Okay, now I get it. I was heading down to the as of yet unnamed station. We learned from Stick that you can venture inside, and while the station is the regular station style we're familiar with, it is very large, with multiple ring segments spread out and connected by beams. There were many player ships here already. This would definitely help with finding the pads, as you cannot request landing here at the moment. Space here is much less cluttered with incomplete art assets. A lot of ships out here. I mean, I suppose this is the current, like, the tourism hotspot, if you will, you know?
Yeah, everybody wants to see it.
I figured it would be safer not to land given how full the pads were already, so I'd be stopping up short and heading into EVA. Look at my ships there are.
Oh, you must be in EVA right now.
Am I?
I can see your markers like shaking all around.
On reading the in-game chat, it was clear that more players were trying to get here, so I decided to put up a beacon just like Panzer Blast had to quickly help people find the jump point. I'm going to put up a beacon up now. Now we were heading into the station. There are ASOP terminals here. I don't know if they work or not, but I'm going to go and see if there's a med bay. You could maybe set spawn here.
Right on.
There is a clinic here. Let's see if we can set regen here. Yes, you can. Oh, the location is just called Stanton, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if that works or not. Before continuing on, I checked the beacon was up and let the server know that they could use it in chat. Next, we'll be checking out the amenities. Yeah, Stick was right. Cargo and refinery. Hello, Attacks. Good to see you.
Hello.
Exploring the Galleria, we found it to be well provisioned with shops.
We got all kinds of stuff over here, food stuff.
Gun shop and an armor shop as well. Got Gallant.
Elroy's.
I mean, you know, they got a white custodian. The white custodian looks pretty decent. It looks way more white. That's the whitest thing I've ever seen in this game, I think.
You've never seen me in person.
In the armor store, though, they hadn't quite finished moving in yet. You can tell this station isn't like ready. None of the mannequins have any armor on them.
This looks like the mall back in like 1996.
Let's see what they sell. Do they sell anything at all?
No, it just says all categories.
Yeah, they're not stocked up there. But I mean, that's why there's nothing on the mannequins or the shelves, right? They're still paying someone to stand behind this counter, which is weird.
Yeah, well.
I do like the layout. This whole like little like annex with all of the shops on it on one side. That's really cool.
Yeah, you can buy stuff in here.
The layout of this Galleria is really nice, with most of the shops in a single area. But what else was up here? Oh god, they got a locker room as well. I wonder if there's a no questions asked terminal. The food court down here at the end of that corridor. The station has both a cargo deck and a refinery, and we'd be visiting one of them without even intending it. Cargo center. Oh, it wasn't me, it was this dude. I guess, yeah, I thought it was you, but it wasn't.
Oh no, I didn't.
The typical copy-paste cargo center. And a visit to the refinery for good measure. Yeah, good. Great. This is a refinery.
You've seen one, you've seen them all.
There are some pretty understandable limitations to the current station, like potentially losing items that are dropped. Oh, someone took their helmet off, put it in the inventory, and it seems like they can't get it back, which, you know, that's not good news for them. I've set my spawn here for science. We'll see what happens if I meet an untimely end.
Ooh. Those are some big balls.
Quite. Like you said, it's kind of like being in a shopping mall before opening day, you know. Like, there isn't much to do and it isn't that interesting, but, you know, you get to kind of have a little sneak peek.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval
Yeah, you were there first.
We tried to deliver a ship here, but it immediately went to claim, and after claiming, the same thing happened. So no, at present, you cannot call ships from this station. Overall, the station is pretty cool, and when it is up and running, having so many services available right next to the jump point is going to be very useful, I imagine. We were heading back out to our ships to try and find the route back to the jump point. This can be achieved by again just following the trail of station segments, forming a path into the space beyond the station. It's up this way, basically following the structures. You can see the beacon in the map, right?
Yeah, in the F2. Shows up as quantum.
We'd stick around for quite a while, just to keep the beacon up and active for people to use. Some players had trouble with getting the beacon to work properly, so we'd invite them to party as needed. It was really cool to see players converging here for a look around and getting to chat with a bunch of awesome people. And no doubt when this is an actual functioning jump gate, it is going to be one of the busiest areas in the game. Fingers crossed that the inclusion in the upcoming patch is a sign that Pyro is actually getting closer to becoming a reality. As always, I'd like to thank all of you at home for watching and all of our amazing patrons who you can see on screen right now. It's thanks to these very generous people that videos on the channel can be made at all, and I'd like to thank each and every one of them for continuing to support the channel. And in this video I would especially like to thank Ubicado, who recently became a backer of the channel over on Patreon. Thank you very much Ubicado, your support is hugely appreciated. We'll be back with more from the 321 PTU very soon.